Hello and welcome to the fifth episode of the Basepaths. I'm Luke Crummish. Joining me is Trey Dombrowski from Monmouth. Trey, how we doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing good. Thank you for having me on, Luke. And I was looking forward to this for so long, and I'm happy we finally got to connect.
Yeah, man, we've been talking about this for like three-ish weeks now, so I'm glad
Yeah,
we finally, got to meet up and talk on this, you know, Friday morning.
absolutely. Get ready for the 4th of July.
Yeah, man. And we're Jersey guys. 4th of July, a lot of stuff going on in
A
Jersey,
lot
always.
of stuff going on. A lot of stuff going
Always.
on. Yeah.
So yeah, man, being that you are a Jersey guy, I got to go to, I got to pay more attention to Monmouth baseball than, a lot of these small high schools in like Illinois that I'm talking to the other guys and that's where they're from. So you're a guy who I knew your name because I'm a short conference kid and you were in the shore pitching at Wall and then you went to Monmouth. So I've heard your name for a long time and it's really cool to see you, up there on those MLB rankings, a short conference guy, you and Zach Crotchfeld. So, I'm really excited to talk to you, and I think, this is going to be a good conversation.
Yeah, and it was cool. I actually got to connect with Zach at the combine. That was the first time I really got to talk to him. And it was really cool. Oh, hold up. It was really cool because we're both lefties, and, it's cool to connect with kids like that are from your area and see how their story is different from mine. So it was really cool, and like I said, I appreciate you having me on. I'm excited for this.
Yeah, funniest part, I'm talking to Zach later tonight. So
Oh, no way.
yeah, I'm talking to him at like 6. So it's a very Jersey day here.
Oh yeah,
Um,
you got to be excited. You're going to hear a lot of talking though.
oh yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that's Jersey.
Yeah, that's all it is.
But yeah, man, Jersey's been pumping out southpaws lately. It feels like, you two, and then the two classes before this, we had one in each. I'm blanking on their names, but they were North Jersey guys. So, you know, let's just talk a little bit about your game at Monmouth. First start of the season, you come out 6 no-hit innings versus Penn State, stuff like that. So just talk a little bit about your game, your, favorite pitch to throw, stuff like that.
Yeah, so I'm more of a old school pitcher, I guess you can say. Whereas now, the velocity and stuff is kind of like number one on most people's boards, I guess you can say. But I'm different from that. I'm not gonna blow you away with my fastball. Like I don't throw as hard as some of the kids in the class. But I feel like that's what makes me really unique in a sense. It's like I'm not gonna be able to rely on my velocity because it's not going to work. I'm going to have to rely on my pitch arsenal and then command and control really. So it's cool because I almost have to pay attention to detail so much more than the guy that throws 97, which I really like because it helps me focus a lot more. I throw fastball, curveball, changeup, slider. Um, which one's my favorite to throw is a good question. I would say slider. Um, but it's funny. I really do like throwing all of them because I think it's cool to have a four pitch mix and kind of give guys a different look. The changeup was something I really just added because over the summer last year in Cape Cod, that's what the pitching coach brought to me. He was like, "You should probably add another pitch, because your curveball and slider are looking the same. Let's add a changeup." And I had pretty good feel for it, so I just started to throw it. So that's why I would say I'm unique in a sense. I'm more of like a feel guy.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at, stats and all that, and your average is like 88 to 92, and I'm like, oh, this guy's like, old school southpaw. And then I was reading more, and it was like he has two very legit breaking balls, and then he just added in a changeup, and I'm like, oh, okay, here we go. Like he's turning up now, right before the draft. I'm like, this is
hmm
this is good stuff right here.
So I like how I like to put it is like I'm not the sexy pitcher in a sense. Like I'm literally like you said, I'm the old school guy. So like I said, I'm unique in a sense, and I really like it because do I think I have more velocity? Absolutely. I'm only 21 years old. Hopefully, I have another 20, 25 years in this game. So that's what I'm makes me look forward to it. Really, it's just that there's more to pitching than like pitching's unique in a sense because there's so much more and you can always find more. Even the best pitchers in the game like could still evolve, and it's crazy to think about.
Yeah, I mean, Garrett Cole completely changed how he throws one of his pitches like last year. Like,
And it's crazy, and it's like each team has a different way, which I think is really cool. And each guy has a different way. Like my perfect example is like Jacob DeGrom. Like, yeah, he might be hurt here and there, but like he every year he finds something new, whether it's velocity, his changeup, a two seam, a slider. Like he comes out every year with something new, and I'm like, this is unbelievable that he's found another gear to where he was already at.
yeah, and again, that's why pitching's so unique. And you look at in the MLB and development and all that, you look around and you see, okay, so the way this pitching staff threw this one year with this pitching coach, and then literally the next year with a different pitching coach, and they go from a mediocre bullpen to the best in, the bigs and stuff like that. And it's just from one year with a different pitching coach because
Yeah,
somebody sees something differently.
and see at Monmouth, it's funny. We pretty much get a new pitching coach every other year. Every year, that's just how it works because we're a mid-major school. Guys go on to bigger schools because they're really good at their job. Um, so I've seen different philosophies, like you said, and I found ways to kind of flourish in both and adapt to the new way that kind of goes about, and that's kind of what is exciting about me for pro ball is like it's going to be a new pitching philosophy from my previous coaches. So I've had that before where I've had to go into a new system and kind of learn on the fly, adapt, and I'm really excited for it. It's very exciting.
Yeah, and for a guy who, again, we're talking about, you're a low 90s fastball guy, you get so many strikeouts. It's honestly ridiculous. 120 this past year in 95 innings. I mean, those are pretty good numbers, especially in college, because, a lot more college guys are always protect swinging, stuff like that. Especially at the mid-major level. I know a few guys who are like, yeah, I just go up there and swing for contact. Like, I'm not trying to put that ball over the fence. Uh, so those are really good numbers with, a low 3 ERA, and the year before that, a high 2 ERA. So you're out here killing it at Monmouth. And you did go to the combine. You obviously, they didn't, I don't know if this is the same as last year, but last year they didn't let college guys participate in the actual, like, exhibitions and stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
so yeah, I'll explain a little bit what it was. So the high school guys got to play in the exhibition games, like you said, whereas the college guys, it's like the NFL combine for baseball, pretty much. Like you do like all the, I guess you could say like strength and conditioning stuff, mobility stuff, and then you throw a bullpen, and obviously hitters hit BP. I didn't throw the bullpen because I threw so many innings this year, and from the time my last game was to the combine was about a month.
yeah.
So it wasn't really in the best interest to take that much time off and then ramp back up. Whereas pro ball's right around the corner. I might as well get ready for that than get ready for the combine in a sense.
Yeah, and again, your game, you threw 95 innings this year. There's enough tape for people to look at. Like, they don't need to see any more innings. They don't need to
Absolutely.
see
Yeah.
one more bullpen.
And that's what a lot of people explained was like, if I couldn't come out in the 95 innings that you were throwing, like that's on me.
Yeah.
I can't help myself with that. That's on me. But yeah, this year 95 innings. It was kind of uncharted waters, I guess you can say, because I've never thrown that much. But I'm like I said before, I'm more of a feel guy. So like towards the end of the year, it's almost like I felt better because it was warmer. Um, Better feel for pitches and stuff. Maybe the results didn't really say it, but I did feel good, which is exciting because pro ball 90 innings is like the lower tier.
Yeah.
A lot of you see starters throwing 230 innings, like Sandy Alcantara's already at 120 basically, and
He's ridiculous.
it's not even the All Star break. But that's kind of what makes me unique is like I'm ready for that, and I really want the opportunity to be able to pitch every 5 days because once you get in a rhythm, for me especially, it's like, ooh, this train's not stopping.
Yeah, man. And you're talking about, feeling better with the warmer weather. Let's not sell you short, bro. February 18th, 6 no-hit innings, only one base runner at all. And against Penn State, 7 strikeouts. Like, that's a killer outing. First start of the year in not great temperatures because that's in Monmouth and that's
Mm-hmm.
cold. That
Yeah,
is very cold.
yeah. But yeah, that's kind of I like I try to explain that is like the Mid Atlantic and the Northern guys like have it so much different than the say the
So much worse.
SEC guys. Like basically, what I figured out is like it's just one really long winter. Like I would say our first like game where I was like, all right, like I don't have to wear long sleeves, like it's warm, I'm ready to go was like end of April. Like and it's like holy
So
crap
quick.
that whereas guys in the SEC are playing in 80-degree weather in February and I'm like wow that's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, but again, that's Jersey, and you come out throw well in a cold spring, it turns some heads. Especially if you can show off that you still have great control in those conditions, because that is something that is not easy at all. You hear people talk about that early in the season, and like when Toronto was playing in Buffalo, like people were not happy about that because it's still cold. Like it's April, it's still
Yeah,
cold.
it's still cool. And see, I think about it as like in the MLB, if you're playing in the playoffs, you're most likely playing in the cold. Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
especially say if it's the Yankees, the Red Sox, like a team up here. Say
You're
you make
done.
it to the World Series, it's freezing.
You're
Um,
done. Yeah.
whereas like basically us Northern guys already have the upper hand in that because we've had to deal with it our whole lives.
Yeah, I mean, last year the people in the World Series had a little light, Atlanta and LA. That's
Yeah,
pretty nice. I think people take that over, Yankee Stadium or Fenway, because you'll
exactly.
your
But I
fingers
feel like
will
that's
fall
what
off.
makes it cool though. Like
Oh yeah,
I feel
100%.
like it would be all like
The
I'm trying to think the
breath,
last yeah. I'm trying to think the last time it was like at a northern team. Um
hasn't been for a
God.
while.
Yeah, I
I
don't really
mean, the
know.
most north recently is what, the Nationals.
Yeah, I guess yeah, when they played the Astros.
Yeah,
Um
and like it was cold in DC then, but like it wasn't,
very.
Fenway cold.
Yeah, like I can't even imagine it in Fenway in say November. Like, oh crap.
You're done, bro. You're done.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, man, but that's really cool. I was gonna go to the combine, got credentialed and everything, couldn't because of high school graduation. Which is wild. But
Yeah.
I did hear a lot of good things because I had people who I know there who were looking out for some of the Jersey guys for me. So I heard really good things about you and how you tested and everything, and then same with Zach. So, Jersey, short conference showed up, sure as the best
Shows up.
athletes.
Yeah, it showed
We always,
out too.
you know,
And it was funny. I left on Monday the 13th of June, I think it was.
yeah,
Um flights at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm like walking to the airport, like a zombie basically. Um and I get on I'm like walking up to the gate and someone taps me on the shoulder and it's Zach. I'm like, holy crap, like you're on my flight and I just saw you when I'm boarding. That's crazy. So we were talking for a while, which is really cool.
yeah. I mean, I talked to a few guys before this who were at the combine and like the summer showcase things. I'm like, dude, Zach's hilarious, and like they brought
Yeah.
that up on their own. Like I didn't lead them there. They were like, I know you're a Jersey guy. Zach's hilarious. So again, the short conference we had Kenny Pickett draft in the first round. Now we got you guys showing out in the MLB draft. So big year for the shore.
Yeah, it's exciting. Very exciting.
Yeah,
Very.
we're gonna move on to more of the why you love baseball stuff. This whole podcast is about it's the base paths because it's how people get from high school, college, and then into the majors and minor leagues, because nobody appreciates minor league baseball players unless you live in a town that has a team, or you have a guy like Anthony Volpe sitting in your backyard.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk a little bit about how you got to Monmouth and then fell in love with baseball and all that stuff. So you want to go through your recruitment process just a little bit, like
Yeah,
who?
so I had a very unique recruiting process, actually. I only had 3 offers out of high school. Um, Longwood, JMU, and Monmouth were my 3, and my older brother played at Monmouth. He was a senior when I was a freshman, so that kinda made it easy on me. I got to play with him. And then another big thing for me is, like, I'm a huge family guy. So my mom's got 7 brothers and sisters. My dad's
Oof.
got 1 sister. Um, so like I wanted to stay close to home so they could see me. Um, and at Monmouth, I knew I was going to get an opportunity to go in right away and play. Whereas if I was going to a bigger school, maybe I had to wait till my sophomore, junior year to get some experience. Whereas at Monmouth, you go in right away, and whether it be a reliever or starter, you're able to kind of make an impact right away. And I wanted to get accustomed to college baseball. So that's kind of what drew me there. And then just like I said before, how the coaches kind of are cycled in and out, but how good the coaches are. Um, so the pitching coaches have been very good, and that's kind of what drew me there.
Yeah, I mean, you look at really any mid-major, that's just how it's gonna be.
Yeah,
That's just
exactly.
it's just the way it goes.
Yeah, it's the way. Yeah, it's the name of the game, basically.
Because these guys are extremely good at their jobs and they're like, I just need a start. And someone's like, hey, we love pitching coaches. Pitching coaches are great. You should come here. They
Hmm.
ball out, make a staff do amazing for a year. And they're like, all right, Power Five team wants me. See ya.
Yeah,
Um, which,
exactly.
that's the way baseball works. And that's why baseball is awesome. You're always moving up to another level, whether it be, being a coach moving up from a lower level team and moving into Power Five and then, moving to the MLB, or, in your case, you went high school, college, and now you're going to the pros. And you still have to go through, a few different minor league teams and stuff like that. But baseball is amazing because of the progression you have. Like, you're in the NFL, you're drafted, and you're there.
Yeah, right away. And baseball is literally the only unique sport like that. I guess you could say kind of basketball in a sense, but like not really, because if you're a first rounder, you're playing in the NBA.
Yeah.
Whereas baseball, if you're a first rounder, you're going to low A, high A, and you got to show out.
Yeah, you're playing in Clearwater, like
Yeah,
in front of
exactly.
like 30 people for a
Hmm.
year. Even if you're, pick number 39 and you're the last first rounder, you could be in Clearwater for a year. You look at what's his name? He was first overall by Philly like 2012 and he just made his first MLB
Yeah,
appearance.
Mark Apple.
I think it's April.
Yeah, Apple.
I'm not positive, so
Yeah,
don't call
but
me on that.
yeah, that
Yeah,
was
like
that's a really cool story, by the way.
that's awesome. And I
Hmm.
I like my day job as I, help out at Blue Claws games. So everyone there was like buzzing for him because they obviously, know him and stuff like that. But yeah, that's why baseball is so awesome because you're always moving up. And even in his case, he took a year off because his body was just so, beat up from
Run
all those
down,
years.
yeah.
Yeah. And he comes back, great stuff in the minors through, 3 months. And now he's pitching for the Phillies, which was, if you told somebody in 2012 he was going to be pitching for the Phillies now, they'd say he had one of the greatest careers of, recent Philly draft prospects.
Hmm.
But it didn't go that way, but he still made it. And that's why baseball is,
Is unique. It's
yeah, it's one
unique.
of the greatest sport on the planet.
Oh, without a doubt.
And, I'm a big football guy. Like that's what I'm good at looking at. That's what people tell me. Hey, you're going to work in football. You're going to be great. I love baseball. Like I love it. I was never good. I have horrible hand-eye coordination, but baseball is just so awesome to me.
Yeah, it's different because like you have to almost appreciate it to understand it.
Yes.
Um, that's why like when people are always talking about like, oh, the games are so long, like when I'm like, I don't think they're that long. Like if you really appreciate it, like it's not that long. It's just there's not action every second. Um, so I do appreciate it, and I like kind of like the mental side of it. It's like a mental game, literally.
Yeah, very literally is a very strenuous mental game. But speaking of games being long, the pitch clock is something that is now in minor league baseball, Is that going to be, you think, an adjustment that you have to make, or are you not worried
No,
about it?
because they have that in college too. They have the 20-second pitch clock. Um,
I think
so
the minor leagues are doing, it's either 18 or 21. I know it's not 20.
yeah,
It's either
it
18 or
might.
21. I can't
It's some.
remember.
Yeah, it's something different, but I don't think it will be just because I'm kind of like a fast mover in a sense. Like I don't really take my time. Like once I'm in a rhythm, I'm in a rhythm, and I keep going.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't know how guys are, dancing up there, rocking babies and, keeping their leg up in the air for 30 seconds and then throwing
Yeah.
a 100-mile-per-hour fastball. And you're like, all right, like, how is this? This is not human. This is not a real person.
Yeah, literally. So yeah, and baseball's the one sport where it's like, how did you just do that? Like that is
Yeah.
incredible. How did you just throw a 103 mile an hour fastball? Like that is unheard of.
Yeah. That tiny little ball traveled faster than a Prius. Like,
Yeah,
it travels faster
crazy.
than most people on the Garden State Parkway, but not everyone, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
not everyone, especially in Jersey, not everyone.
Yeah, not everyone. But, you know, that's people who don't understand how crazy that is, or like, don't appreciate a slider dropping off the table, think baseball is this long drawn out game. Like, we should cut it down 7 innings, stuff like that. But people who love baseball, guys like you and a lot of the other people in this draft class, understand it more than the average person, and it really shows with, a lot of the times the way a guy plays or just the way they talk about it, like the way you talk about baseball is awesome. And I think you're gonna, do great things just because of how much you love baseball.
I appreciate that. Yeah, and like you got to love it to do it is what a
Yes.
lot of people say. And to say I love it is an understatement. I absolutely love it. Because it's brought me into like really good relationships with people. I've met a whole bunch of different people and makes me feel like a kid at the end of the day. So that's why I absolutely love it.
Yeah, you get paid to play children's games, the saying.
Exactly. Exactly.
Um, yeah, man. And then I just wanna who's a guy growing up that was like your favorite player, and then who do you like model your game after per se?
So it's funny. Clayton Kershaw is my number one answer. Just because of how good he was, and he never got in trouble off the field. So my parents always used to kind of stress that to me. It was like, if you can't take care of it off the field, you're not going to be able to take care of it on the field. Whereas like Clayton Kershaw, he's literally the man. Like he performs on the field, and then off the field, he does like a whole bunch of charity stuff. I know he holds like a ping pong tournament every year, which is great. Like I want to be able to do something like that, because I want to be able to give back in a sense. Like I'm from Wall, so South Wall Little League, like that's where I grew up playing baseball. So like if I'm able to give back to them or say Wall High School, like I want to be able to do that because I want to make an impact outside of baseball in a sense.
Could be looking at, Dombrowski Field and Wall, having
Yeah, that
my
would be
boys
pretty
from
cool.
Township go over there. Probably lose because we're not great.
Yeah.
But nobody heard me say that. We're not good at baseball.
Yeah. No.
Um, but yeah, that was actually going to be my next question. Is charity stuff and work like that something you are going to do? Because a lot of guys, either they want to help grow baseball off the field, or they just like don't, and they don't really care. Because baseball are like, oh, kids aren't invested in baseball anymore, which I don't really buy. But is that something that's important to you?
Absolutely, yeah, because it's funny, like people ask me like, "Oh, what are your goals in baseball?" And one of my goals is actually to win the Roberto Clemente Award for like sportsmanship. It's like the best, basically the best dude off the field in baseball. I really want to win that because I think that would be really cool. Um, like I said before, I want to be able to do something outside of baseball. Like one thing people always say is like baseball doesn't define you. Like if you let the game define you, it's going to eat you up and it's going to beat you up. So like I want to be able to, like you said, say if it's just giving back to a local school or trying to grow the game at South Wall and North Wall. I want to be able to try and do that because I want people to play baseball. Like I love baseball, so I want to, like you said, help try and grow it. Because it's a beautiful game, and I think kind of now at the younger ages, it's kind of getting lost. And travel teams, all this stuff. It's like kind of hectic. Like the other day, I was at South Wall throwing, and like I can hear people yelling at the umpire. I'm like, this guy's taking his time to come out and ump your game. Like this is a little league baseball game. Like you're supposed to have fun. You're not supposed to go and yell at the umpire. Like this is some guy that is working for money that is volunteering his time. And that's kind of what makes me upset about it sometimes is like the ins and outs are gone at lower levels, and I kind of want to reestablish that.
Yeah, I mean, you look at, Freehold specifically, you got people yelling at 13-year-old kids who are umping, 8-year-old games. And I'm like, bro, come
Exactly. And
on, bro.
yeah, see, at South Wall, like we used to umpire the little kids. So like I would say, like you said, I was probably like 13 or 14 umping, like, and people weren't giving me a hard time back then. But if I was 13 or 14 trying to do it now, like
You're done.
I would be like, I don't want to do this anymore because people are just ripping into me the whole time. But like I said, that's kind of a part that I want to help fix is like, your kids, like you're supposed to have fun playing the game. So yeah, that in that sense, I do want to help grow the game.
Yeah, I think a lot of that has to do with the attention span thing where like, everybody's on the iPad now, so nobody's paying attention to what's actually
Exactly.
going on. And then
Yeah.
they're watching 15-second videos and moving on and never thinking about them again. Which baseball, again, a game does take a long time, but it doesn't if you love it and you're
Appreciate
paying
it.
attention. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Um, but to these kids who have 15-second attention spans, each play is a different TikTok video, and that's like, there's a lot for these little kids
Yeah.
nowadays, just how it is. So that's something that baseball has to kind of work through, and guys like you who are very passionate about the game can help a lot with not necessarily fixing that, but changing the way people look at baseball.
Mm-hmm. To say the least.
Yeah. We're gonna move on now to questions from my mom, and this one's gonna be Jersey edition because again, I'm a Jersey guy, you're a
Oh
Jersey
yeah,
guy.
baby.
Monmouth County, and
Now,
so
do you consider it Central Jersey?
that was the first question.
Okay, look at that. I'm on it today.
It's just how it
All right.
is.
So what's the question? I'll give you an answer.
Do you believe that we are in Central Jersey or that it
Absolutely,
exists? 100%.
100%. So
100%.
I would say from like Manasquan to about maybe like Red Bank, like
Yeah.
that area
Hinton Falls.
is like maybe even a little bit like if you really wanted to give it like Atlantic Highlands, I guess maybe like that high, but that's a little high.
Yeah.
So from like put it in exit like 98 to like 110 maybe
Yeah.
is like Central Jersey, and then
That
anything
sentence
above
made
that,
sense to only Jersey people. 98 to
exactly.
110, that made sense
Yeah.
to only New Jersey people. That's awesome.
So from that is Central, and then anything below that is like it's South, and then anything above it
We
is
don't talk
North.
we don't talk about South Jersey. Let's be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
They're not. I don't even know if they're the same state sometimes. I go down there and I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
this is
I
I'm
just
in
consider it
I'm in
Philly.
Louisiana. Like what?
Yeah, like I just consider it Philly most of the time.
All right. Question number 2. This is a big one. Is it pork roll or is it Taylor ham?
Pork roll.
100%. I
So
get it.
what
It's
you call it pork roll?
yeah.
All right. See,
I,
Central Jersey thing.
yeah, I
Anything
think it's a
above it
Central Jersey
is
thing.
Taylor ham. Anything below it is I don't know what South Jersey is.
Again, they're not. I don't believe South Jersey is a real place. Like they're their own state at
They're
this
just
point.
there. They're just
Yeah.
there.
But yeah, I get it. Taylor ham's the brand, but pork roll's what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
people don't get that.
I'm 100% on board with you.
All right, this one is a bit of a a tough one because I feel like it depends on who you're talking to. But is it the beach or the shore?
I call it the beach.
I call it the beach.
Yeah,
But if
because
I'm talking to people in other
I'm a
states,
5. Yeah, if you talk to, like I said, once you get kind of out of New Jersey and you're like,
yeah,
oh, you want to go to the beach? They're like,
the shore,
what?
the shore,
Yeah, the
the
shore.
shore. Like,
Yeah,
bro, we don't
so
talk like that.
no, no, we get a bad rap sometimes.
Yeah, every movie feels the need to just, take a dump on Jersey. Like, what?
Yeah,
What did
it's
we
not as
do?
bad as you think. It's not
No,
as you think.
Jersey's awesome. I love Jersey.
Oh yeah, Jersey does get a bad rap.
Yeah, it's
I
it's
mean,
I don't really get
it's
it. It's just something people feel the need to do. Like you're watching a movie and you're like, all right, what's the over under on when they mention Jersey in this movie? Like it's every movie I
yeah,
watch, I
it
feel like
literally,
Jersey's mentioned.
literally gets a bad rap. I don't know why, but hey, can't change it.
All right. Last one isn't a Jersey question. This is just a general question from my mom. What's your favorite genre of music and then your favorite song?
Ooh. See, I'm like I said, I'm different. So like, I can go from like rap to country to EDM in like 3 songs.
Yeah.
That's a good question. I do like classical music too. I would say my favorite genre is probably country. Do I have a favorite song? No, because like it kind of rotates. Like 1 week it'll be this song, 1 week it'll be that song. So like I don't have a favorite song. If you know, like it's kind of hard for me to pick one out.
All right. I'll phrase it a little bit different. What was your walkout song this year?
So my walkout was right back where we started by, oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. It's a classical song. I don't even know who it was by. I'm drawing a blank.
Do you think you're gonna keep that one or you switch it up next year?
Uh, Probably keep it because like whenever we have family events, that song plays. So I want to keep it like that. I think that would be cool.
That's sick. That's really cool that it's like a family thing.
So
All
yeah,
right,
whatever. That's what I want to do. Huge family guy.
that's awesome, man. Yeah, that's gonna be it for me, man. Thank you for joining me. Thank you everybody who is listening, watching, however you're doing it. Leave a rating, comment, like. There's so many different platforms that this is gonna be on. And yeah, thank you again, Trey, and peace.
No, yeah, thank you, Luke. Very, very exciting stuff, and I can't wait to listen.